Hey guys, Matty Miller, Pursuit Real Estate. Hope y'all are well. I wanted to touch base on a topic that seemingly is becoming maybe even a buzzword in the Jacksonville, Florida area, and maybe Florida in general. And it's the term foreclosures. We've had a lot of people discuss that their rates are. And I want to break down exactly what that's looking like for our market and maybe even uncover some truths, if you will. So stay tuned for more details. All right, guys. So there's been a lot of talk about foreclosure rates in Florida, and a lot of people even talking in the general public, some realtors, other people in the business that have been talking, man, this could be worse than 2009. Our market's getting slower. When's this going to last? What is cool? Got it. Well, let's break some things down. And I just want to put some people at ease when I'm looking at information, and this is all information that you can pull. And quite simply, I wanted to pull a couple things over the last 3-4 years. And I want to make myself very clear that I'm by no means tracking this data super closely. I'm not privy to that. I don't spend all my time on it because my job ultimately is to help people do whatever they have to do in the real estate world in the current moment. So I don't sit there and forecast years down the road, whatever. But what I can do is pull data, and the number one thing that I hear is that, how do you think this is going to compare to 2009? And I don't think it's going to be anywhere close. Okay. Yes, we have some inflation. We have low interest rates, which are causing people to stay in their homes a little longer because when they look to go buy another home, maybe the money doesn't make sense. And for a large amount of people, that's people that bought homes. That's really going to affect people that bought homes in that 2021, 22 to 2025. If you've bought a home in the last 3 or 4 years and you need to go resell it, you might be in some trouble. But that's a small subsection of the amount of people that own homes in Jacksonville, Florida, particularly in our surrounding areas, of course. So I wanted to kind of look and peel back a little bit of a layer here and say, okay, if you think it's going to turn into 2009 all over again, let's break down a couple simple things. You can pull data, and I've pulled data from 2010 and 2011 of how many properties were in foreclosure in 2010 and 2011 when we had the last crash. Another buzzword, crash, right? When the housing market's going to crash. Okay, well, why did it crash? Well, we were doing 7-year ARM loans, 5-year ARM loans, stated income loans. We're not doing any of that stuff anymore. We haven't done that since 2009. There's so much more regulation in the banking industry to be able to guard against what happened in 2009 that it simply almost can't happen, in my opinion. Then again, just your local small town realtor here, guys. But none of it seems to be adding up. So if you want to look at this, currently, I just pulled numbers off a site called Adam Data. You can go check it out. Adam Data foreclosure numbers. Google it, okay? Put it in. How many properties are in foreclosure in July of 2025 in the state of Florida? And what I mean by that is it's going to give you a number. So right now, in July of 2025, the most recent numbers, 1 out of every 2,420 homes is currently in foreclosure. That is not a lot. That is a very small amount. No big deal. Let's compare that to 2011. In 2011, 1 in 49 homes was in default and in foreclosure. Those numbers are obviously different. Anybody can see that. At one point in time in 2010, 1 in 9 in the state of Florida was potentially in foreclosure and forbearance. I'm not great with numbers here, and I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but I can understand that maybe people are rooting for it to fail. I'm not really sure, but last time I checked, the foreclosure rate in the state of Florida currently today is nowhere close to what it is in 2009 or 2010 or 2011. Nowhere close. And that's a lot of different reasons. You can figure those out on your own, but this is kind of me saying, pump the brakes. I don't think that, yes, we are dealing with some inflation. Yes, we are dealing with high prices. Yes, we are dealing with interest rates that are higher than what they were at 3%. I don't think we're going to see 3% for a long time. Are we going to see 4% for a long time? Probably not. But if we can stay at the 6s, 5s, and 5.5s, which may happen soon, who knows? Ultimately, everything will end up leveling out, and it's just going to be a little bit of a rough time for the next year or two. But if you ultimately bought a house in 2022 and paid the highest prices and also at a 7% interest rate, yes, there's a chance that that home could go into foreclosure. There's absolutely a chance of that. But for a large portion of people who own homes in the First Coast area, that is just simply not the case. That is a small subsection of people that bought homes in the last little while. There's a bunch of people that have a ton of equity. If you bought in 2016, 2017, all the way up to there, hey guys, what about the 25 years before then? Those are all owned. They all have plenty of equity. You're gonna be fine. Okay, I just think that people are spewing some information out there that's not quite accurate. And for whatever reason, I'm not really sure. But to me, this is a personal opinion, it does not seem like we're going to see that crazy of a market shift or some kind of crazy crash. So if you're freaked out about it, if you want to talk about it, you want to sell, maybe hold on. I just wanted to spread some information out there that seems a little bit more easily digestible than the sky is falling information that's kind of being thrown out there a little bit now. So if you guys have any questions, my name is Matty Miller with Pursuit Real Estate. Talk to you soon.